Hi, it's time for another episode of Houseplants 101, brought to you by Ward's Nursery. Today we're going to review 3 really easy to care for houseplants that I call the toughest to kill houseplants. That's right. So all you beginners out there, keep these in mind as you're looking to start your first houseplants or maybe make second attempts if things haven't worked out in the past. Our first houseplant for today is Dieffenbachia, also known as dumb cane. Our second plant is called the ZZ plant for short, but if you want the whole name, I'm only going to say it once. Zamioculcas zamiofolia. And that's why we're going to call it the ZZ plant. Our third and final plant for the day is the snake plant, which is also called Sansevieria. Before we get into each plant too much, I do want to say that I made these selections based on these plants having flexible light levels, very minimal feeding schedules. They can go in your house, they can go in businesses, some of them, they can just go in places that are basically anything but dense shade, and a couple of them really aren't, most of them aren't going to like too much direct sunlight for prolonged periods of time. The first plant we have today is dumb cane, and I'd say this is a good plant for offices, bedrooms, restaurants, businesses, your dorm room. Minimal light, again, anything but dense shade. It's not going to want a lot of direct sunlight. And yeah, it's a really tropical, cool looking house plant. It's going to have yellow closer to the center of the veins and then get darker green towards the outside in most cases. The leaves will actually grow up to 20 inches. The actual height of the plant can be anywhere from 3 to 10 feet. As a house plant, I'd expect that you're most often going to see it more like in the 2 to 4 foot range. The dumb cane grows best when temperatures are close to, I'd say, 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. But really, they can withstand 40 degrees to 90 degrees with just a reduced growth rate in those outer temperatures, the cooler and the warmer sides. Watering with this houseplant is so easy. You really just need to give it an ample watering and then wait until the soil is completely dry. Make sure you stick your finger into the soil about an inch or so, and then that's how you're going to check the moisture. Don't repeat watering until the soil has dried out. Our second plant to go over today is the ZZ plant. It's very cool to know that it's considered to be a semi-succulent. It's got a stunning glossy leaf appearance. It does flower, but most people are really buying it more about the looks, the cool, stylish, upright looks, the glossy leaves, and it's easy to care for. The ZZ can be started by cuttings, which is a cool feature. It takes indirect light really well, and it can also put up with some watering abuse at the same time. I'd say in the winter months, don't even be surprised if you've gone about 3-4 weeks without having to had to water them after you check the soil. In the warmer months, yeah, I'd be checking every week. I would recommend this one to anybody who travels a lot or just has a schedule that's very inconsistent. It's a great, easy to care houseplant that you can come home to after being on the road or what have you. A mature ZZ plant will be expected to be reaching 2 to 3 feet tall. Any well-draining type of potting soil or succulent mix will be just fine in terms of potting soil needs for the ZZ plant. The last benefit I'll share of the ZZ plant is that it's pretty much disease and insect free. Our last plant for the day is the snake plant, which easily makes the cut of easy to care for houseplants. The snake plant would prefer a warm area in the house that gets a lot of indirect light, but it will tolerate quite a bit of shade at the same time if that's something you can't provide it. My only warning about the snake plant is try and keep it out of southern or western windows that receive a lot of direct light for a duration throughout the day. It's not going to like that too much. With the snake plant, you're going to want to use pots that are wider than they are tall. They have a very strong root system, and at occasions they've been known to actually crack and break through their pots. They spread by underground stems called rhizomes, and then that's actually what's going on when it pressures against the pot, and why I'm suggesting that you get a wider pot than tall. Snake plants are really cool because they come in a lot of varieties and colors. You can get them variegated, you can see yellow stripes, more of a dark tint with light green in them. I only have 2 here today. They can be mixed and matched really well with other snake plants, and then a whole other variety of other plants as well. Like our 2 previous house plants for today, you do want to make sure that the soil is close to or completely dry before you re-water. One of the only susceptibilities of the snake plant would be rot if you're watering it too often. Snake plant doesn't really mind dry, stale air. That's not a problem. And it could also take the humidity of being in a bathroom at the same time. Snake plant is one of the best plants when it comes to air purification in your home. It takes in the toxins and releases fresh oxygen. Great for the bedroom and the home in general, keeping it a cleaner place. Thank you for tuning into Ward's Nursery's Houseplant 101. My name is Sam, and I tried to give you 3 very easy to care for houseplants for all you watching out there, whether you're a beginner, just looking for something that's not going to take as much work around the house, or you're not going to have to think about it as much, but you still get that beautiful look. If you have thriving houseplants at home, we'd love to see them at #WardsNursery on Instagram, or find us on Facebook. Our store is open from 8 to 5, 7 days a week. Thanks. Take care.